Shalom. I want to start by giving all praise to Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahushai, Baharuka Kodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles from Great Millstone for teaching us the scriptures, among other things. And salutation to all your Akim across the earth for doing this work in sincerity and in truth. Shalom. So this is an article that I just stumbled upon it, but it is from a couple of days ago. I didn't saw it. I see it now. And it's kind of funny because my parents are from the island of Curacao, and this is stories about this article is about Tula. They even made a movie about it, Tula the Revolt, and but they're hiding a lot of stuff. But in the movie they show it, and if you read the article, they don't really talk about it because that's what the Dutch people do. They hide a lot of their wickedness, and I've made a video before concerning the excuse of Prime Minister Kutte. I also went into the couple of things that they used to do during slavery. These Dutch people, these people from Holland. So they did some horrible things, and even in the article they don't mention. They only say, and I'm gonna read the article in a minute. But they say that they murdered him. Yeah, they're talking about killing. They executed him on a brutal way, a very horrible way. But they don't mention how. Well, the thing is, what they did with him, when they had him, they broke every bone in his body. Then they took his head off and burned it and put it alongside of a road for an example, and also with he had one slave, so-called slave, one slave who was also right, his right hand basically, and they gave him the same punishment, and which was funny, because in other countries, other places where their slaves were revolting, they were fighting with violence, but because he heard that in Haiti, the slaves they were free there because they fought with the French, and the Levites over there. They used their magic, spirits and stuff, to scare the French soldiers. So they left, they run away and left them, and they freed the people from the Dominicans, who were next to Haiti, they freed them and some couple of more northern tribes they freed. But let me just read the article. This is Tula, the enslaved resistance hero who is being rehabilitated. So now they clearing his name, That's what they do. Fucking bullshit anyway. But yeah, more than 200 years after his death, the cabinet pays tribute to the enslaved resistance hero Tula, unknown 1795. Let me take a sip of water. Here you can read about his life and his struggle for freedom. Yes, lucky. So, like I said before, he didn't do it with violence. He just came to ask, like, okay, ain't slavery supposed to be done away with? And the fun part is when they, eventually, the mayor, he called for soldiers and stuff, and they murdered a lot of slaves and basically beat down the revolt. And afterwards, after they murdered Tula and his companions, they continued for at least another 10 years with slavery. So basically, the revolt was around the period that the other countries stopped with slavery. See, that's the Dutch people. That's why I believe that the Dutch people gonna get, amongst the other Edomites, they're gonna get a special punishment, because they're next level, man. Concerning the wickedness, they're next level, man. These Edomites here, and they're very good in hiding it. But yeah, you can hide nothing from the Most High. The Most High knows everything, and in due time, He will let things come out to the light. You know. Same as how we through beginning with our Bidens, got 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 the knowledge back. Basically knew the understanding that we are the children of Israel. Abba Bibbins, who is Elijah in the reincarnation. He brought the sons back to the fathers. That's it. You can't go around it. So back to the article. Tula's date of birth is unknown. He lived in slavery on Curacao in the 18th century. The Dutch ruled the roost on the Caribbean island. For years, Tula worked as a slave on the Canipa plantation in the west of Curacao. On August 17, 1795, he stopped doing so in protest against life as a slave, along with about 40 other enslaved people. Tula and his supporters demanded their freedom from plantation owner Caspar Lodewijk van Utrecht. And Utrecht is also a city here in Holland, so led by Tula among others, the uprising grew to about 2,000 people demanding their freedom. The freedom fighters went to the governor of Willemstad, the capital of Curaçao. It was the largest revolt of enslaved people. And the fun part, they didn't came with violence. He only came to ask like, okay, ain't you gonna set us free? Basically. He was asking for his freedom. The freedom fighters The freedom fighters went to the governor of Willemstad, the capital of Curaçao. It was the largest revolt of enslaved people in the Caribbean part of the Dutch kingdom. The colonial rulers put down the slave revolt with brute force. Tula managed to escape, but was betrayed, and captured anyway. Tula was murdered after a mock trial. The colonial rulers tortured Tura during a mock trial. Finally, he made a forced confession. He got the death penalty. The authorities brutally murdered Tula, so they don't explain in the article what they did. But this Dutch were next level, man. Like I mentioned before, my mother told me you had the Spaniards, the Portuguese, the French, and the English, and they weren't as worse as the Dutch people concerning torture and things that they were doing. The authorities brutally murdered Tula. The resistance hero died on October the 3rd, 1795, after a public execution. Tula's head was displayed on a pole after his execution. Next to it, according to the tradition, was a sign that read, Tula, chief of the murderers, insurgents, looters, and arsonists. Tula court's documents have been preserved. We have been mistreated too much. We seek not to harm anyone, but seek our freedom, was recorded from his mouth. Like I said, he was asking for his freedom, for their freedom. uh, every year on August 17, Curacao commerce, commemorates the resistance against slavery with Dia de Lucha pa Libertad, also known as Tula Day. There is now a monument in Curacao in memory of the resistance hero. Tula was declared a national hero in Curacao in 2010. He was then also rehabilitated on the island. The canon of the Netherlands refers to Tula. He has become a symbol of freedom, resistance, and identity, says the Overlegoran Caribbean Dutch Foundation about the resistance hero. First steps towards recognition of other freedom fighters. Okan director Leinen Martijn emphasized to nu.nl that Tula was not the only freedom fighter. For example, some so-called house slaves tried to poison their masters. In 2013, the movie Tula, The Revolt was released, starring Obi Abili in the title role. Other roles in the film about the life of the resistance hero were played by Jeroen Krabbe, Danny Glover, Natalie Simpson, and Derek DeLint, among others. In Curacao, a museum is named after Tula. It is dedicated to the Afro Curaçaoan heritage, and that's funny. So they put the Afro in everything: Afro American, Afro African, Afro African American. Now it's Afro Curacao also. No man, we the children of Israel. Get the fuck out of there, man. The museum struggled financially due to the corona pandemic and eventually had to close its doors. So yeah, so that's the article. So let me go into the scripture. This is the book of Job, chapter 20 and verse 10. His children shall seek to please the poor, and his hand shall restore their goods. So that's what they try now. You know, you also brother posted an article in the group app concerning that the so-called king of Holland, Willem Alexander, that he is preparing or also want to talk concerning the excuse that Mark Kutte did. But which is funny because there's also another article which shows that the way that Kutte said his excuse, that he made sure by saying it on a certain way that there is no way that the people here could ask for money. You know, not even ask. They don't give it anyway, but there is not even a chance for them to ask for money. You know how funny that is? You know, so yeah, they're very slick, you know. A devil shall stay his devil, you know. Like the book of Jeremiah said, you know, he who is accustomed to do evil cannot do good. Accustomed to do wicked cannot do good. Let me grab it real quick because I'm really butchering that scripture. Let me see. I think it was in the book of Jeremiah, if I'm correct. Let me see. Yes, this is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 13, verse 23. Can the Ethiopian change his skin? So can the Ethiopian change his skin color from dark brown to white? No, he can't. He can bleach whatever he wants, but he can't change his skin color. Or the leopard has spots. The leopard is known for his spots, so he's not able to do that. Then may ye also do good that are accustomed to do evil. And these people, these Edomites, the so-called white people, they are accustomed to do evil. So it's in them. Everything they do, there must be some evil in it. So they seeking to restore the poor. No, they basically try to calm down the people and also cause division. Because you got a lot of people that are against the excuse concerning slavery. You know, people don't want to hear about it. And a lot of people want to hear about it. So you already got the two camps divided, you know. But like I said before, these things are. This is the time, that the Mosai, like in what's in the book of Isaiah, that he said he's lifting up the skirt from these Edomites. Basically that scripture is talking about Babylon, about America, the daughter of Babylon. But it's also in the Edomites in general. There's more and more shit about them, what they've been doing. It's coming to the light. So let me see. There's the book of Obadiah. There's only one chapter, verse 6. How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hid things sought up? So all the things, and they've been hiding this for a long time, but I knew it because, I was also interested concerning slavery. So I knew that the Dutch people, that they went on further longer than the other Edomites concerning slavery, and that they were the first one who took a ship from the west coast of Africa and brought it to America. So they were the first and the last one. How special do you want to be? So I'm going to end it with this scripture. It's the book of Luke, chapter 12, because everything shall come to the light. And this is the time that the wickedness of this devil is going to be revealed on the same moment that he is going down, because his society is crumbling down. Esau is panicking. He's trying to get everything ready. China being a fine example. People standing there in line in the snow to get their I said it, their QR code, so they go to and get the make sure that they be tested positive or negative for the C-19, in order for them to get some groceries, to get some bread, standing in line in the snow, man. Well, fuck them Googolinis anyway, man. Don't like them fucking Chinese ching chongs, fucking bastards. But yeah, this is the book of Luke, chapter 12, verse 2. For there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed, neither hid that shall not be known. Therefore, whatsoever ye have spoken in darkness shall be heard in the light, and what ye have spoken in the ear in closet shall be proclaimed upon the housetops. So this wickedness of this devil is coming out. More and more is coming out. His own tongue is falling upon him. His own people are doing investigation and finding stuff out. It's beautiful, man. This is the downfall of the so-called white man. It is beautiful. It's a very beautiful thing to see this. To see how their precious queendom is crumbling down. Beautiful. So yeah, with that, I want to give all praise to Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahushai, Baharuka Kudash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone for teaching us scriptures, among other things, and salutations to all your Akim across the earth who doing this work in sincerity and in truth. So with that, I'm going to say Shalom.